Welcome back to another episode of the Jay's Now podcast. I'm your host, Jay, and today we're going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson. That fact that they need him to be the old Deshaun Watson, or at least a glimmer of it, in order to have a fighting chance in the postseason in 2024. We're going to talk about that today here on the podcast, but before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button also on the channel, comment your thoughts and your opinions. Can Deshaun Watson return to somewhat close to his old form, lead the Browns to a postseason victory? And yeah, just check us out here on the YouTube channel. Follow us on the socials on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Jay's With Down Pod. We're there. Check us out. So yeah, I guess without further ado, yeah. So Deshaun Watson, of course, everybody knows he went to Cleveland, signed that big deal in that trade, and what was that, $230 million contract guaranteed. And in 2 seasons with the Browns, he has not played that well. He had a few good, maybe one or two good games, if I'm being completely honest, playing for the team. And other than that, I haven't been impressed, with Deshaun. He had the injury and stuff. He was out a whole year. We all remember that, or was it? Yeah, a whole season. But he's played football enough. He's played enough football now, and to the point where it's like, and Joe Flacco came in and took this team to the playoffs, and I'm like, okay, Joe Flacco comes in and the offense is clicking. They're playing well. In order and they make it to the postseason. Deshaun Watson, they don't have Joe Flacco there anymore, so he's gonna have to step his game up. He's gonna have to be the Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans, the magical uh, playmaker that he was there, or at least close to it, somewhat close to it. They need to see signs that he is that he is. There's still remnants of that quarterback that was an amazing football player for the Houston Texans, especially in the 2020 season where he led the NFL in touchdown passes. So they need that Deshaun Watson to show up, and if he does, then yeah, they have a fighting chance. Look at the AFC North. The Steelers are going to be good with Russell Wilson and crew. That's if he plays how he's supposed to play. Their defense is good. Like we know the Bengals really all the teams in the AFC North should make the playoffs. Um, they should. They can. We know the Bengals will. Well, that's if Joe Burrow is fully back to himself, fully healthy, and if he can stay healthy during the 2024 season, and their defense can make stops and continue to grow and get better because they have a lot of young playmakers on the defensive side of football. And as far as the Ravens are concerned, we know that they lost some key players on defense as well, and so they're going to have to, and offense also, so they're going to have big years from Lamar Jackson, of course. Zay Flowers is going to continue to step up. Keaton Mitchell, I expect to have a big role in his offense, along with Derrick Henry in the backfield. So that's going to be interesting to watch there. And so for the Browns, like all they really need is just they need Deshaun to play good, just play serviceable football. Maybe not even good football, just serviceable. Be a serviceable quarterback. And if he can do that, then they have a chance to make the playoffs. The Browns have a chance to make the playoffs. They won't win past the wild card or divisional, but they can make it in there. And it'll just, that's just really what they need from him. They need him to step up. They need him to come out there, stay healthy, of course, and deliver the football on time, be accurate, not make bad decisions in the pocket. They need that from their $230 million quarterback, because you're getting paid that type of money, you should be able to produce. And the way the NFL is set up now, it's like quarterbacks, you're not going to win without a quarterback. You cannot win without a good quarterback in today's league. Like a quarterback that is borderline serviceable to good. Like you can't. Of course, you're going to win with an excellent quarterback. Like your Brady's, your Rodgers, your Mahomes, your Burrows, whatever, what have you. But for the teams that don't have those type of guys on their roster and in their locker room, um, you're gonna have to have a guy that's gonna have to go out there that knows his job and that plays really good football, and he's gonna go out there and just like That's the type of production that you need. Quarterbacks come a dime a dozen now in today's league. I mean, as far as ones that can go and take your team really far. And the Browns are in a position right now where they're paying Lamar. I mean, not, Deshaun. I mean, this all this money, and they got you got a decent backfield now. Nick Chubb's hurt, but you got a decent backfield. You still got a great offensive line. Defense is ferocious. Myles Garrett. We all know what he can do on that side of the football. The secondary. I mean, like Jeremiah Owusu. I can never pronounce his name right. But he plays linebacker. He's a really good player. Um, I mean, like now they lost Sion Taki. They lost him to the Patriots in free agency, but I still think that their defense overall is just really good. I mean, you know, um, Denzel Ward, of course, in the secondary as well. He's a good corner when he's healthy, and he's only going to continue to get better. He can be a lockdown DB. So like I said, they really just need like the main thing for Cleveland right now. Is like they just Deshaun Watson is just gonna have to show up and play football, good football. He is, sir. I mean, serviceable football. Like I said, uh, and if he can come in and do that, then this team, can win a good amount of games in 2024. I firmly believe in that. I think the Browns can have a solid standing in the AFC North when it's all said and done. They just won't be able to beat, you know, probably like any other team in their conference when it comes down to the postseason. But because they couldn't beat the Texans. So, but they are still going to be a great team. Like I said, if number 4 can come in and just do what he does, do what he used to do, make those crazy plays, those crazy throws, and the elusiveness. Like if that quarterback comes back, hey man, watch out for the Browns. Like I'm just saying, who knows? I mean, we don't know. So I mean, but so yeah, that's really what I want to focus on today is on the podcast was just like the Cleveland needing Deshaun Watson to really step up this year, especially with all the money they're paying because they're really tied down to him. Not much flexibility there. If he was to bet again this year, I mean it's like you're kind of stuck in a bad situation. So they need him to perform very well, very well. So that's the caveat there. We'll see if it happens. I mean, reports are he's looking decent in practice and camp and whatnot. So, if he can show up, when the season kicks off, I mean, like I said, it should bode well for that team. So, um, but also in other news, Brandon Ayuk is not expected to be traded after he requested trade not too long ago. The 49ers are not expected to send him anywhere as far as I'm concerned right now, even though some top landing spots for him people consider were the Commanders, of course, because his old teammate, Jay Daniels, is the quarterback there. I also had him well, like the Steelers is another team, because they could use the help at the receiver position. George Pickens is good, but they lost Deontay Johnson. You know, the guy that can slide in there and take the top off, and IU can do that. Um, and yeah, so I mean, it's a handful of teams that could really use him, but it doesn't seem like the 49ers have any intent of trading him at all. So more likely than not, he'll be playing this year under that option, under his 5th year option. So, and then extension talks could continue next off season, in the summer, right? So that's what it's looking like right now for Ayuk. But we'll see what happens with that. Again, training camp has already kicked off, so a lot of teams are reporting to camp and getting ready for the season, which I'm so excited for. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, like I said. Stay tuned because again, we're getting close to the season, so you'll need all updates, news, everything you need to know. So follow us right here, Jason Down Pod. Also, check out my new book, The Soldier End of the Line, which I just dropped today, just released it today. So make sure you check it out. Available for purchase on Amazon right now. We'd love the support. We'll see you guys next time on Jason Down.